Hey, 501. It is start of week 4, so you guys are halfway there. Sorry for the dark images of myself. I am sitting outside um, late Sunday evening, and it's just too beautiful outside to be inside. And it's not well lit, but you're not watching this video to see my face, that's for sure. So I want to start off with a quote, as I like to do every week. And this one is from a great movie, kids movie, but it's a great movie nonetheless, Ratatouille. And the quote is, "If you focus on what you've left behind, you will never be able to see what lies ahead." And it really is just it's a very poignant quote that we need to focus on what's in front of us. When we make mistakes, sometimes we tend to be too hard on ourselves and harbor that too much. And so I think it's definitely worth looking at the goal and pressing on towards that goal. Couple things as we're moving forward. Keep up the discussion board posts. The conversation around art and creativity this last week on the discussion board was phenomenal. There was a lot of good back and forth. And, one thing I would say, getting a little bit of a feel that everyone is within a district, and it's hard to get a viewpoint outside of your district. I will say districts aren't that different. I've been in 4, and they each have their own pros and cons, but they are different. They're not that different. But what I'd say is be careful not to say, really say the district won't allow, or the district doesn't see, or the district doesn't have this plan. Being in your classroom, you have a lot of autonomy, and you are able to do things, and you are the district, right? That took me a while to, being a career tech ed teacher, you're really disconnected from other teachers and the district, but you are the district. You are that change. And so, being in this program hopefully will give you tools to be not just a teacher in your classroom, but a leader within the district, that hopefully, if you think it's important to have, creativity in the classroom, that you can lead that charge, or at least small parts of that charge. Wanted to speak for a minute on, late assignments and turning things in. I know this is your first class, and all 4 of you are in 520 as well, so you have a lot to juggle. I totally get it. So I've been pretty lenient on due dates, which technically we're not supposed to be, right? If it's late, it's supposed to be 20 percentage points down, but I have not been doing that. But from this week on, I think everyone's figured out how to submit things properly. And so if something's going to be late, you need to get a hold of me earlier in the week, before the due date. So, at least by Thursday, if something's going to be late, turned in late, I need to know why. And that still won't necessarily mean it won't be marked down, unless there's some mitigating factors. And if you have trouble submitting things, let me know early in the week, and we'll work through it, because we want to make sure it's not just a tech issue or anything like that. But so far, you guys have been doing a great job. The discussions have been great. I'm looking forward to read your philosophy papers, within the next day or two, just to get more of who you are as educators. And so this week we are really looking at different leadership models, mentoring, servant leadership, teacher as leader, all under the guise of innovative leadership. And I definitely think you will see that each area has its own strengths that pulls into what an innovative leader would be. We'll pop over to content here in a minute. I'll go actually into the week. You only have one discussion board question. You have your discussion question. You have a practice quiz that you guys will do through a Google form. And so I'll pop over there in a minute. But if you didn't know, which I'm sure all of you may, is that when you do a Google form, you can actually go to settings and change it over to a quiz, and it grades it for you. So I know a lot of teachers are using that. And so this really is to help introduce you to Google Forms and how you can use it in your classroom. And so here's the link right there, and I'm going to pop over to that in a minute. Actually, I'll pop over right now. So here's the practice quiz. So you're going to put in your email, and you're just going to go through and you're going to answer. The different questions, and when you're done, you're going to hit submit. Make sure you do that by Sunday evening. So I want to make sure that is done by Sunday evening. Probably Thursday or Friday. If I haven't seen it turned in, I'll probably reach out to you guys just to check in. We also have a checkpoint again this week. Assignment 4, which is your infographic project, which I talked about last week just a little bit. that is due at the end of week 5. But there is a checkpoint, and what that checkpoint looks like, it's sort of like the similar one you guys did. Literally, you're going to copy and paste this table into an email to me, and you're just going to type your response in there. And so right here it says assignment 3, assignment 3. It's not assignment 3, it's assignment 4, just so you guys know. So that is wrong, but it is assignment. This is the checkpoint for assignment 4. So you're just going to go through and you're going to copy this table in an email, and you're going to email it to me and fill it out and let me know how you're doing. And then also that email within, this box right here is really important. If you need help with anything, make sure you let me know there. And so that's a checkpoint for this assignment. And there's a couple pages here of directions and your rubric on here. And this is due at the end of next week. So this is not for this week. This is for next week. So there's a lot of information there. And I know I put a couple links in some other announcement posts, but Canva, Pixlr, PictoChart are really, really popular infographic tools. So as long as you go through and you read what it's asking for, I don't need to read this where you guys can read yourselves. But just one thing I want to highlight right here. This is 20% of your course grade. So this is a biggie. So make sure you are understanding what's going on. And if you need anything, please reach out to me this week so you have time next week to go over it. And so I will scroll way down. This is week 2. Sorry, let me go back up to week 3. I want to say in week 3, I gave some links to some infographics somewhere, but now I'm not finding it. I know I did somewhere, but it's also in the in that doc. So you have your discussion question, your practice quiz, your checkpoint, and then your assignment for and the looking ahead. But your assignment for this week is the online certification training. And once again, this walks you through the whole thing. You're gonna click on this link, you're gonna register, and you're gonna go through and do what it asks you. I'm actually gonna do it along with you. So right here, here's something you need to know right there. It takes about 3 hours to finish it, but it does save your progress, so you should be fine. This is not really for this class. It's throughout your whole program. You're going to be doing some research, and this is just saying how to do research on human beings in an ethical manner. And so as you go through this week, know that you're going to have to dedicate about 3 hours to finish this assignment. But this assignment, like I said, will be for the rest of your program. It is I think you actually have to turn this in as an assignment in a couple other classes as well. And so you'll definitely be able to use this multiple times, and it's worth 30 points. So this is week 4 within the week. I know there's some redundancy in my announcements and in the week 4. But I just want to make sure a couple things. Scott gives a pretty good TED Talk. Once again, you have a couple chapters in Robinson, so there's a lot of content this week in addition to that online training for City online training. So plan accordingly. It's going to be somewhat of a busy week. And pages 40, 41, and the page 60 in the Brumbaugh text, just talking about Google Forms and QR codes. Really, really good stuff. Discussion post I'll pop over to in a minute. Don't forget about your self-paced lessons. The one on disruptive innovation was kind of cool. The school leadership one is good, but I definitely thought the disruptive innovation was better. So if you've never met John Grippo, he's crazy, but he's amazing. I've had the pleasure of being at dinner with him 3 or 4 times over the past few years, and I was actually at this Q Bold where he spoke a few times and been able to be at a couple Q Rock Stars with him. But this is a really good short video, so definitely make sure you get that content. And then popping over to the discussion post for this week. So once again, it's on Robinson's text. He talks about how direct instruction is a necessity, and then contrast it to the needs of a flexible grouping and student-driven inquiry. So essentially, after you read that and think about it in that context, do you agree with Robinson's opinion of direct instruction? And then how does online access to knowledge for students change the need for direct instruction? And so I'm pretty excited to see where this discussion post goes, because saying, whether or not you you believe it's true, but to argue that, direct instruction doesn't need to happen is a pretty bold claim in education. So I am looking forward to going back and forth with you guys on the discussion post, and try to get those in early. If you wait till Thursday to do your initial post, it's hard for other people to respond. So if you can get your post in earlier in the week, that's definitely going to be helpful to give a more robust conversation. So that is it for week 4. Once again, I just want to say you guys have been killing it, doing a great job in this class and in 520, which you'll be hearing from me in a little bit. But if you need anything, remember, shoot me an email. Text is fine. Voxer, direct message, Twitter, however you want to get a hold of me is totally fine. And have a great week 4. And don't forget that at the end of week 5, you get a week break. So after the end of week 5, you'll have a break off for Thanksgiving, and then we'll finish strong with the last 3 weeks. Have a great week 4.